Hello and welcome along to our Strong Seniors class. My name's Vicki. I'll be taking you through the workout. So as always, remember, if there's things that you don't, won't, can't or shouldn't do, then please leave them out. Find a different option if you're familiar with an option. If you're not, then take a little break. We will need some water. We're actually going to be drinking that. And then some weights. So you can use either, if you do have some weights in your house, or you can use soup cans, bottles, anything that feels comfortable in your hands when you're holding them. So again, take it easy if you haven't been exercising for a little while. Otherwise, ramp it up if you know what to do. So we'll get the music turned up, give ourselves a little bit of space. Okay, so we're going to be starting with a warm-up. We'll start with a little march. So we keep our chest up, our shoulders back and open, and nice and tall. We're going to add a knee. So 1, 2, 3, knee. Now, if you've got a little bit of room, you can take this forwards and backwards. I'll take little steps so that you don't go crashing through your lounge room. Good, we'll do it 4 more times. I think that's 4. 1 more time. And walk with 3 knees. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. Just letting our arms swing. So if you do have room, we'll get you to take big steps, but always know what is in front and behind. Our last time back, now a step touch to our right. So nice and easy. And then we'll add our arms. So just to reach and pull. So find a little squeeze between the shoulder blades as we bring our elbows back. A couple more. Now we'll make it 2 steps across. So we're going to do bicep curls with our arms. Got a couple more there and back. Now we're going to mix it up a little. Back to the single step touch, just 1. And then make it 2 steps across. 1 more time. Back to the single step, reach and forward. Then 2 steps across. Now keep the 2 steps. We're doing 3 times. Twice more. 1 step touch. Now, ready to go the other way. 2 steps across. 1 more. Then step touch on the spot. Good, then our march with 3 knees. So 1, 2, 3. March again. And again, if you've got that little bit of room, shift it along. Now, step touch, just 1. And make it 2 steps across. Now, if our knees and hips are okay, this is going to turn into a grapevine. So just do easy arms, Let the legs do all the work. One more there and back. Then on the spot, single leg curls. So we've got a little cross with the arms. And we feel the squeeze up the back of the legs and a bit of length down the front. Let's take the grapevine across. And then single leg curls. We're going to give that one a little bit of a mix up. Grapevine across. One more. Hold the leg curls. We'll do a few more curls, get those hamstrings nice and warm. Grapevine across, 3 times. Then hold the curls. Now, old fashioned aerobics. Grapevine across, 3, 2, single leg curls. Grapevine across, 3. Hold the leg curls. We'll try that again. Grapevines, 3. Then we hold the curl. Grapevine across. Hold the curl and march 3 knees. So remember, if you've got that room, big steps, energetic arms, 2 steps across, 1 more, 1 step touch, and hold it here. We'll make it into a little reach. Then 2 steps across, step touch, and make it the squat tap with the reach. Good, last time through. Grapevines across, 3. 1 more. Hold the leg curls. Grapevines over for 3. Then hold the leg curls and marching on the spot. Good work. Hopefully we're feeling a little warmer. And so we're going to do just a couple of dynamic releases before we go on to our weight section. So bring our feet a comfortable distance apart, knees are soft, a little bit of bracing around the midsection, and as if we are in a canoe. So big reach up, keep the knees a little bit bent and relax toes, and just go as big or as small, as slow as we need to. So remember, if we get a little bit dizzy, keep our head nice and still. If we're okay to let our gaze move with our hands, and then shake and release. Shake out the legs. We'll take our feet hip bone width apart and take our right leg into a lunge. So it's not so much a deep lunge, but just splitting our stance. Now the leg that's back, the right leg, we're going to reach the arm up and take it over a little way. And then release. Right hand to the hip and a little rotation. Release to the front. We'll do that again. Reach up, lifting with the little finger, easing over, coming back, hand to the hip, and rotate. Release. So we should feel a nice stretch down through there, and we'll switch sides. So from hip width apart, taking the foot back, making sure we've got a wide stance so we keep our balance. Just a little sink down, reaching up, lift through the little finger, gently over. Releasing, hand comes down and rotate. Lifting up again, lift reach over. A nice stretch if we've been sitting down for a long time. Release, hands to our hips, and then lift behind. So again, if we need balance, keep our gaze on something still and rotate the upper body. If you're okay to rotate fully, and then release. Shake out the legs. Now, to release through the back of the legs, in through the foot, we'll come to a hamstring stretch, but then we're going to roll onto the ball of the foot. So roll back to the hamstring stretch, lifting the toe, and then roll over onto the tippy toe. Roll. Now, most of you know I'm pretty terrible at counting, so we might have a competition and see if you can count how many times I do everything on each side and whether or not we end up even. So one more, toes right up. Then shake that side out and the other leg. So sit back into the hamstring stretch, lifting the toes, and then gently roll onto the ball of the foot and then roll back. I think I did about 8, maybe 10, who knows. You'll have the benefit of being able to stop and check and count. We'll do one more for good luck. And shake it out. Okay, we are going to alternate between lower body exercises and upper body exercises. So anytime you wish to use weights, pick them up. If you wish to lose the weight or change to something lighter, then you can. Usually with the bigger muscle groups, our legs, our glutes, our backs, we can go heavier. With the smaller muscle groups into the biceps and the triceps, or if we do have any injuries, we go a bit lighter. So with our first exercise, it's a squat, so I'm going to use something a little bit heavier. So we're going to aim for about 20 or up to 20 repetitions for each exercise. So first up, a squat, feet about hip-width apart, toes slightly out. We can hold our weights by our sides. We can hold them up on our shoulders. If you've got one weight, you can hold them across your body like so. So let's sit our bottom back and push up. So weight will settle in through the heels, and remember, I'm not counting. So draw our waist in, weight through the heels. I think that's 5, give or take, you know what I'm like. So from the side, bottom back, squeeze through the bottom to stand up. It's no fun when I don't have anybody counting for me. Just do what I like. So check down that our knees are travelling in line with the middle of our feet. And if we're not ready to go so deep, squeezing the legs and squeezing our glutes. Maybe 300 more? No, hang on, 20. Whoops, my bad. I'll do 3 more, I think that's where we got to. Well done. Release the arms if we've had them up there. Shake out the legs. Now, a variation of that one, we're coming wider and we're going to lift one heel. Now this may give you a little grip in through the calf. So if you need to put your heel down, please do. Again, weights or no weights, we'll go 10 on each side because then I can count. So 1, 2, 3, squeezing through the glutes. As soon as I talk, I lose count. I think that's 7, 8, 9, and 10. Again, a little release. Shake out the leg, shake out the ankle, and then to the other side. So wide, toes out, weights in position, lift the heel, down and up. 3. I really need somebody here to count. 6, remember, give those glutes. 7, a big squeeze. I'm going to end up wonky, I know, for sure. I think it's 10. Okay, so we're going to alternate that with an upper body exercise. Using, depending on our shoulders, if our shoulders are okay, we're going to do an overhead extension. So we take the weight up, we can take 1 foot back, or we can sit and back like so. So if your shoulders don't like this position, then please take a little stretch, because with the next exercise, you should be okay to do. So keep our tummy drawn in tight so we don't all lean backwards. And do count. I should have had Jordan in here counting for me, keep me on track. But anyway, too bad. So around about 20. Then relax. Give the shoulders a little roll. Now the next one, we can use either a bench or a chair. I'm going to use a chair that we've placed back here. So taking 1 foot forwards, 1 foot back, leaning over, so it's similar to a row, but reaching up and pulling the elbow up high, but keeping the shoulder away from our ear. And then 1, 2, we'll do 10 on each side. 3, 5, you don't want to hear me counting all the time, do you? 6, 7, but it's the only way I'm going to be even. 8, 9, 10, and then the other side. Now if you didn't have a chair, you could rest on your hand on the knee, so up 1, 2, 3. It's really boring when I count. So nice long back. Maybe if I use my fingers. 3 more. Good work. Okay, back to the upper body, the lower body. Now, you can use weights for this. If your balance is a little compromised, you may use a chair or a kitchen bench. But you don't have to put the balance into it if you don't want to. So, either alongside a bench, and it won't really matter which leg you start with, but we're going to be stepping forwards and stepping backwards with the same leg. Counting on this one's going to be interesting. So forwards and backwards. So you can tap forwards, that's 2, 3, so if you want to, I think that's 4. Stepping right through, and then if you want, without hands. So land with the heel, push through the heel, and count. Maybe you should do what I haven't done and have somebody there to count for you. So push through the heel, land with the heel. Keep the knee in line, and so long as our back is long, if you get a little lean forwards, it doesn't matter. 4 more. 2, 3, and 4. Shake out the leg, legs, 2 of them, and then the other side. So to start with, a step forwards, a tap, a step backwards, a tap. So if you want to, you can stay with the tap without the balance assisted. Or you can start I have no idea how I'm counting. Not to worry. So long as the legs feel the same by the time we finish, then that should be okay. I think I might be counting each way as one. So do start the video according to how many you've done. And remember, if you want hands free, toes light, toes light. That leg's starting to feel the same. Two more. Relax. I cannot wait until I've got somebody who keeps check on me. Okay, so our next one is going back to the upper body. We're going to be doing a shoulder press, so pressing overhead. Sometimes if our shoulders are a bit fatigued, you choose a lighter weight. And there's a couple of ways we can do this with the shoulder press. If we're using one weight, again, we can take that little step back to hold us stable. Waist draws in, shoulders down away from ears. Start from around about our collarbones and gently push. So you can do holding one weight like that. If you like, a weight in each hand and start from here and push. Now, I'm not going to count these because we're going to do a few variations. Make sure we push a little forwards rather than straight overhead and keep a bend in our elbows. So we can do one arm and then the other arm. So that's another variation. We can do single, single, and then one double, and then single, single, and double. So any pain or any discomfort in the shoulders, please pop the weights down and have a break. Just pretend you're in the class and you're like having a chat in the corner. Now, another move is called reciprocal. As that arm is coming down, other arm goes up. So we move both at the same time. This is where it gets a lot harder to actually count because you can't figure out which one to count. But you can feel it's a little less stable. We do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Down we come. Well done. Give the shoulders a big, big roll forwards and back. And ourselves a little move. Now, our next one is going to combine a leg exercise with some balance. So again, we can use weight, we can use a chair or a kitchen bench for our balance. So I'll show you with and without. So what we're going to do, I'll show you without the weight first. If we're using our balance and no weights, we can have our hand on the chair, standing on one leg, and it's as if we're bending over to pick something up. Knee a little bit soft, and we hinge forwards and then stand up. So again, I'm not going to count this one because there are a few variations. So soft knee, long back, and as we stand up, push down through the heel and we'll feel the glutes engage. So that little bit of balance. If you want the weights, 1 or 2, doesn't matter. Maybe a shopping bag, soft knee, so we hinge over and then stand up. So hinge, stand up. So if you want to go hands free, challenge our balance a little more. Think of drawing our navel towards our spine. And If you need to come up a little quicker, then do. So you can tap the foot behind if we need to. So tap and then stand up. You will still get the benefit in the standing leg. Now, another little add-on, which may or may not use weights, we'll use the balance first, is to take the deadlift down like you're reaching down and then straight into a knee lift. So coming down, reach down, and then straight up to a knee lift. So we'll do 4 more. Again, without the balance, but have your hand there if you need to. One more for good luck, because I wasn't actually counting again. And up. Well done. Shake out that leg. So we may need to either turn around or we can flip to the other side. So standing on our other leg, start with a bit of balance. Soften the knee, draw up tall, and take that little tip over, and then push through the heel to stand. So we can pretend that we're picking something up, and then standing up, and making sure we're squeezing the back of our leg, and right into those big gluteal muscles. So if you want weight, coming over, standing up. If you want no balance, help. And that little tap right there helps with relieving a bit of pressure on our standing leg. So do 1 more. And then if you want, we can go to the knee lift. So starting, give that leg a bit of a release, starting with our balance, reaching down and then push to a knee lift. So reaching down and push up. So if this movement of the head a little quicker makes you a bit dizzy, go slow and then slower up. We'll do 3, 2, and last one. Good work. Shake out the legs. Excellent. Now again to the upper body. Shoulders again, so our weight selection may be a little lighter. Don't need the chair for now. Put that back. And taking the weight, 1 in each hand. So if you've got using soup cans or something like that, make sure it's small enough that we can grip with our hand facing down. So standing up tall, elbows bent, and going out to the side and lower. So lifting our elbows to about armpit height. To make this harder, we lengthen through the arms. So when we feel a bit of fatigue in the shoulders, we bend the elbows again just to release that pressure off. And then we can do 1 arm and then the other arm. So our single lat raise. So depending on what we've got hold of, you might feel like we're tipping out a jug or pouring something. And then we can do single, single, double. So 1 each side, and then double. So I don't know how you want to count this. Done it any way you like. And then both, and then another variation, the reciprocal move. So holding 1 up, 1 down, and then switch. So we may feel this more around our waist. And that's stability muscles switching on. So again, as many as you like, but you know, around about 20, but it depends on how you count these. So we'll do 3, 2, 2, and 1 more. Good work. Rolling the shoulders. Now we'll pop our weights down. We're going into some push-ups and a plank. So we can do this up against the wall, which I'll demonstrate. You can do it on a kitchen bench. So your hands on the kitchen bench. Just make sure if you've got the edge of the bench, a little bit of padding that won't slip for your hands. Or you can do it hands on the chair or on the floor. So just depending on how you're going with your push-ups. The further our feet are away from the wall, the harder it's going to be. We're going to look for a wide-ish position with our hands. However, if your shoulders don't like that, bring your hands in about shoulder width apart. So I'm going to take my hands apart and in line with our chest. So waist nice and tight. We do 1 push-up and then tap and a tap. So 1 push-up, tap, tap. Better count these, hey? Or, if I don't count, I might be able to get you to do extra. I think that's 6, 7, 8. So if we start to feel a little bit much in the shoulders, we'll try and get to 10 and then adjust. So if you're feeling it in the shoulders, take a little step closer and then same thing and then tap, tap. Three, we've got 7 to go. See, I'm counting these ones. I think I've got it right. Tap, tap. And now I've just lost count. Such an idiot. I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. So I'll do 3 more. I can't even count 3. That'll do. Should be about 20. So give the shoulders a nice big roll. So that was our big muscle group, and because it was predominantly shoulders and chest, our little muscle group was going to be through the biceps. So our feet about shoulder width apart, or you can have 1 foot back for balance. And coming up. So a hammer curl with our thumbs coming up, or we can curl, so rotating the hands. If you've got elbow, wrist or shoulder problems, I'd stick with the hammer curl like this. Then, so we'll do a couple of variations. So let's hold 1 hand up and then switch. Soften the knees a little. Make sure we're not gripping too tight. So whatever you've got hold of, if your fingernails are turning white, you're holding on too tight. Make our biceps nice and strong. So when we come back, we can use those big 5 kilo plates. Then another variation is to come across. So not really worrying about thumb up or thumb down. You get a little more swing through the body, but this is probably more how we pick things up. So it's called a crossover biceps curl. So it depends on whether you want to do 20 in total or 20 per arm. So I guess if we finish those there, will be somewhere in between 20 in total and 20 each arm. Please, good work. Now, shake out the arms. We've got 2 more big exercises to finish. This one's a squat with rotation. So we're going to hold a weight in our hands like so, and just take a comfortable width squat. Remembering, if you're quite narrow with your stance, you won't get very low, and you can tend to come forwards on your knees, which may put pressure. So I like to take around a little wider than shoulder width. So we're going to squat down and then look over towards the right, lifting the left heel, and then land, and then a little rotation. So a little push. Now as we push, we release the heel and squeeze through our glute. So if we get dizzy with our head moving, we're going to do just a slight turn. If you're okay to go further back, and then if your shoulders are feeling okay, we're going to add a push and a push. So we can do this without weights. A heavier weight, make sure we're tight around the midsection. You'll feel your core engage, push, and again, it might be 20 individual ones or 20 either side. Keep those buns tight and waist firm. We'll do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good work. Now, our very last one with the weights is bent over row. A couple of ways of doing it. We can work with a chair where we have a knee on and a hand on, and then pull. So keep that supporting knee bent. 3, 4, really squeezing around the back. 5, 6, 7, 8. Better count for the last one. 9, 10. So if we didn't have a chair or something like that, we could take our hand on our knee and pull like a lawnmower. 5, got 5 more, and then we should be nice and even. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent work. Switching sides. So I just don't want to turn my back on you. So knee on, hand on, getting comfortable, and then 1, 2, lifting the elbow up, squeezing the back, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, if we didn't have the chair there, foot forward, hand on the knee, long back, 10, 9, 8, 4 to go, 3, 2, 1, and well done. Fantastic work. So now we're going to do a little bit of chair abdominals, but before we go seated, we'll release through our back, and then shake out the legs, and take one arm up, one arm down, just letting them swing. And release. So we're going to take a seat in our chair. I'll be a little on the side. And to start off with, we're going to scoot forwards a little. So feet about shoulder width apart, lift up tall, and long back, leaning back, and using those abdominals lift up. So you can do as many of these as you like. Holding tight. So as we lean back, we feel tension. Keep our back in its same natural shape. And if we start to feel it in our neck, push our tongue to the roof of our mouth behind our teeth. And that just helps to release through there. And again, I should be counting on my fingers, shouldn't I? Okay, you can scoot back a little bit, taking our feet a little wider, low hands and rotate. So if we get dizzy, keep our head still, in which case we won't rotate as far, but really think of bringing out through our waist. So using the muscles around our torso. It's also a nice stretch as well. And again, depending on how we're counting, it might be 1, 2, or we might be counting 1 and 2. So please yourself. Shake out and a little bit for our side, sitting up tall, hand up and reaching. We'll do 10, 9, 8, nearly went straight to 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and on the other side, 2, 3, 4 to go. Let's stretch and squeeze. 3, 2, and 1. So now we'll do some stretches. We'll do them in the chair, and I'll just change the music to something quieter. So with our stretching, just taking it so we feel pleasant tension. We're going to start with our feet comfortable distance apart, and then just let our knees roll to one side, and then gently to the other side. So you can hold onto the chair, we can roll back. So just let your feet relax, and just take it as far as feels comfortable. Today, my knee isn't feeling very happy in that direction, so I won't go as far that way, but I might go a little further the other way. And then give our legs a little bit of a release. We can sit up tall, finding our feet about hip width apart, lift up tall through our spine, and then take our hand, try to keep our knees straight, one hand behind, and then turn, rotate and look over the shoulder. Relax our shoulders. And then release, and the other way. So sit tall first, hand behind for a little bit of help, and then rotate our body, our shoulders, our head. So we aim to hold for about 5 to 6 slow breaths. And release. Now, You might need to scoot to the front a little into a hamstring stretch, keeping our knee just a tiny bit bent, and then hinge ourselves forwards. If it feels a little too tight, relax the foot. So if you get that feeling of tightness behind the knee, ease off. But think of bringing our rib cage forwards. And then release on the other side. So again, just make sure that knee's not turning inside out. Lift forwards. So slow, gentle breaths. Release. Now, another stretch for the hips, taking one foot and just letting the leg drop out. So if this is where our hips will let us go, we stay right there. Otherwise, you can come up a little bit higher, or you can, using assistance, pull up, sit tall, and let the knee just gently drop out. To increase this, if you've got good hip flexibility, you can push that knee down and or just lean forwards, but bringing the ribs forwards. Feel nice through the hip. Keep that foot a little flexed, and that will help to stabilise through our knee. And then release, rocking back and switching sides. So again, depending on how our knee and our hip feels, either stopping there, coming a little higher, or flexing the foot, shuffling in, sit tall, and then relax. So again, hand on our knee or a thigh. Always such a nice stretching through those big muscles. And then release. Now to stretch through the front of our legs, we can either scoot one butt cheek off, take the foot back and lean back, squeezing that buttock to push the hip forwards, or we can stand up, using our chair for balance if we like, and finding one foot. So try and keep supporting knee bent and draw that knee back, pushing our foot into our hand. And then we release on the other side. So if you wish, without balance, so keeping our gaze just on one still point on the floor. And release. Then linking our hands, stretching through our upper back. And then opening up through our chest. Let the shoulders relax. Releasing, taking our feet comfortable distance. Take a breath in and release. Breath in. Release. One more. Release. And there we have it. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you soon.